What's good, my people? What's good? This is my boy, Minister T Breeze. Gospel rap. Don't hit different. Hit different, 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 different. What's good, my people? I'm Big Tony. That's what they call Big Tony, one half of the Chronic OG's podcast. Thank you for listening in. I appreciate you guys. Before I get started, I want to ask you guys if you like what you hear, please hit the uh, subscribe and like buttons. On YouTube, continue to support Chronic OG's podcast. We greatly appreciate it. So a while ago, I did exit episode number 17. And number 17 was, um, why does Big Tone continue to coach? So yesterday, we had some guys, I had some of my players sign scholarship letters of intent to colleges. So two of them, one of them is a 4.5 all AP classes student who can go. He's a flat bucket, 6'4" lefty. He's going to a school called Barry University here in Georgia. And another one, another 4.5 student, probably had one of the best IQs I've ever played with besides Matt Downey. I've ever coached besides Matt Downey out in Arizona. My son has a really good basketball IQ. And Chance Whitfield, who's playing ball with my son at a little small school, North Carolina. So you guys, if you watched episode number 17, that's what I talked about. You know, some of the coaches that has influenced me, but the reasons why I continue to coach and why we can't just walk away from it. Why I can't just walk away from it. So last night, I get a text message from one of my players, and I'm trying to find it. Here it is. Sent me this at 10:05 last night. Sitting up watching the game. Like, man, who's this texting me this late? So I'm gonna read this too. It says, Coach T, you've been nothing but an amazing mentor to me, man. For real. You know, I've grown up for the most part of my life without a father. And I just want you to know that I see you as one of those father figures in my life that showed me things that my father couldn't. Only a few get accredited with that, man. I don't play about father figures now. To know I always have a shoulder to lean on, and no matter what happens, a lot to me, means a lot to me. And I thank you so much for showing me things that I couldn't even imagine seeing on my own. You've been a big factor in shaping my life philosophy. So that's one message I got. Then there's a couple more I want to read to you. And then this one says, thank you, Coach, for everything. I was going to wait for you after the banquet, but you were busy taking pictures. But thank you for everything. You're the greatest coach I've ever been able to play for. Thank you so much. You were the first coach to take a chance on me. And I can say that my junior season was the best season I've ever been a part of. When you first met me at tryouts, I knew I wanted to be a player for you. I wouldn't be the basketball player I am today. I've gained opportunities thanks to you. You've boosted my confidence and made me the player I am. Thank you for everything. And I'll always remember you, Coach. You're the greatest coach ever. And then the final one I'm going to read. This guy actually is going to play another sport in college, but he still played for me. After playing for Coach Tony, I've learned the importance. I've learned the importance of boxing out, rebounding, and communicating on defense. This past season, our team was one of the smallest teams in the region. The games we lost, we didn't box out, rebound, communicate as well as we should have. Thus, the games we won, we boxed out, rebounded, and communicated the way we should have. Another thing that I think Coach Tony made sure everyone did is have fun and have belief in themselves. Not all coaches encourage their players to have fun and enjoy the game that they love playing. I really appreciate Coach Tony and everything he does. He's the GOAT. So sometimes people ask me, because I complain, I come home and I'm like, man, I'm tired. These kids getting on my nerves. The parents, this, the administration, that, whatever the case may be. But in the end, that's why I do what I do. So I try to teach before, like I said, I try to teach life lessons through the game of basketball because, to be honest with you, a lot of my life is shaped up by what I learned through playing and more often coaching the youth in the different places I've lived, in the DMV, in California, in Arizona, and now in Georgia. It's just about affecting kids and giving them something to strive for, and then not making it easy on them, but appreciating them and praising them when they do reach that, that goal or that accomplishment that they were striving for. So it's important for coaches in high school and in college, but AAU coaches, youth coaches, and that's basketball, football, baseball, whatever the sport is that this kid is falling in love with, even if it's more than one. We got to remember to make sure we're doing it for the right reasons. Yes, if you're a coach, you will be competitive and you want to win, but you should want to win the right way, and that shouldn't be the most important thing. The most important thing should be affecting these kids' lives in a positive manner, being there for them while they're playing for you, and when they're not playing for you, when they're getting married, they having life problems, or in some cases when they need some place to stay, because they got because they got kicked out of the house from arguing with their mom and pop or whatever the case may be. I just believe that this is my call. Been doing it for 25 years, and I swear to God to you guys, I'm tired. My body's breaking down, and I'm tired. I'm mentally tired, physically tired, emotionally tired. And quite honestly, it's not easy. I don't make money from doing what I do. I could charge a lot. But then the reasons kind of change a little bit. When you're my age, 53 years old, when you're my age and you still have enough youthfulness to go out here and mess around with these kids and have fun and joke around and talk crap, all this other stuff, and tell them that they trash. Oh, boy, you trash. You can't hoop. Oh, I can shoot you. Bro, I will shoot you. This, that, and the other. But in the end, it's what I live for these days. Besides my family and friends, is what I live for. What these kids don't realize, and hopefully someone will watch this, what they don't realize is that they say how great I am, but they don't know how great I think they am. they are, what they do for me, um, how they keep my spirits up when I'm down or when I'm, here alone, whatever the case may be. How much I look forward to, it's Tuesday night. I'm like, man, when Friday, hurry up and get here. I'm ready to go see so-and-so play. Or I'm ready to coach against this team. Or I'm ready to compete this or do that. It comes to coaching and helping these kids. Even in some of our losses, I still need to make sure they learn from it. You learn more in life from a loss than you do from a win. Just like in basketball, in my opinion, you learn more from a loss than you do from a win. Because losing challenges your character. Losing challenges your perseverance. Losing challenges your mindset. Losing challenges what you have inside. It challenges your ticker. Are you going to give up because we down 7, or are you going to keep playing? It's funny because I have a young lady. You guys saw one of my past episodes. Her name is Jordan Brooks. So I've sent some of her information out to some schools. Her only issue is that she's 5'3". If she was 5'7", she'd be a 4-star recruit. I firmly believe that. But anyway, so I'm talking to one of these coaches yesterday, and we talked for an hour. And he's raving about her, love her to death. They're trying to work out a full scholarship package for her. But the one thing he told me, so I sent him 3 games. I sent him 2 games in which they won, and then I sent them the state Elite 8 game in which they lost to the eventual state champion. And quite frankly, they were never in the game. Maynard Jackson was they got D1 shooters, players on that team. But the one thing, what made Jordan stick out to him was when they were down, she kept hooping. She kept playing. They were down 31-8. She had all 8, and she kept playing. She kept hooping. She kept trying to encourage. She kept trying to uplift. She kept trying to get her team in the right position. And in the meantime, she had 28-8-6 or 28-8-7. She probably was second on their team in rebounding. Like I said, she's 5'3". But the one thing that Coach Burrows said to me was, she's like the Energizer Bunny. The only time she slows down is when she's out of the game. And I'm like, I didn't know how to take that because I thought he meant, she was out of control. No, he was talking about her ticker, her heart. She kept going at it. She kept trying to play the right way, kept trying to do the right thing. I think to Jordan's fault, no, I don't want to say fault. What I'd like to see her do more is go at it early when she know they have an uphill battle. Attack now. Don't wait till you get down or whatever the case may be. But the moral of that story is they're not gonna offer a scholarship because of the 2 games that they won that I sent. That scholarship is gonna be based off the way she played when they were down. She has it all. And that's life. We all been down. Some of us may be down right now, right? And feeling a certain way about life, or maybe our finances not in order, or maybe your relationships aren't the way they used to be, or the way you want them to be. Whatever the case may be, your professional life, your athletic life. What I'm gonna say is, and shout out to my mom, I'm doing better when it comes to the curse words. Please forgive me for this one, but I gotta let this one out there. Fuck that giving up shit. We just can't. We all been there. But do we give up? We got people looking at us who we don't know looking at us. Right? We got people looking up to us. We don't know that they're looking up to us. But we'll know that they were looking up to us if we decide to give up. And we just can't. Sometimes it's extremely hard. Rely on what you know. When times get hard for me, I find a gym to go watch kids play. I'll go to the gym, to the rec center, and watch pickup on Saturday morning. Just sit up on the bleachers and watch pickup. Some of the older guys, 30, 35 years old, and they're playing. Oh, what up, OG? What up, OG? What up, OG? Good to see you, OG. What up, Coach? What up, Coach T? And that's uplifting to me. Matter of fact, I may go up there tomorrow. And that's uplifting to me. And that's basketball. The game of basketball is the most tremendous thing. So I watch. I don't watch a lot of women's basketball, but there's certain times I will watch, and I try my best never to miss a South Carolina game. Females, because I love Dawn Staley. I just absolutely love everything about her. She's a class act, and I'm sure she will tell you, if I could get this episode off to her, I'm sure she would tell you the same thing. That this game is me, and she's at the highest level. I'm coaching at a little small area outside Atlanta. Don't nobody know me. She might be the best women's coach in college basketball right now. Everyone knows her. And I believe that if she saw this episode, saw the last episode, episode 17, maybe you guys can send it out to her. I would love to meet her. And she does it for me. She's it. When it comes to coaching basketball, she is it. She inspires. She motivates. She critiques. She praises. She respects. And that's life qualities. She's of high character. She's been there. She's done it. She's of high character. And I just love Dawn Staley. So if there's any coaches out there you want to try to inspire, you want to be inspired by someone, just check out Dawn Staley. Listen to her talk. How she talk about life. The little incident happened with the fight. You saw LSU's coach. Oh, they to push Angel Reese like this, blah, 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 blah. And you saw Dawn Staley apologize, really apologetic. She apologized to the game. She apologized to the media. She apologized to the fans. She apologized to LSU. And that's what it's all about. Because she realizes that even in that moment, when she has a microphone in her face and she could be upset or whatever about that incident with the fight or with the, I won't say the fight, but with the little brouhaha that happened. Even in that moment, she realizes people are watching. Someone's watching. My players are watching. How am I going to handle this? How would I prefer they handle this when I'm retired and they're coaching and I know they was under my coaching tree? How would I prefer that they handle this? What's the right way to handle this? What lesson can I teach during this? Because right then, she realized it wasn't about basketball. Well, Mickey McGraw, or whatever her name is at LSU, took a different avenue. I promise you. I firmly believe that had LSU won that game, you'd have got a different response from LSU's coach, but you'd have got the same response from Dawn Staley. And that's life lessons. That's what we have to teach in this game. And I go back to Coach Giles at Corona Centennial. I'm going to always mention his name when I talk about coaching basketball. Because I see the young men that has come under his tree, that has played for him. Cedric Bearfield, Raj Stewart, Shannon Sharp, not Club Shay Shay, Jalon Wheelwright. Y'all can look these names up if they want to. They all can go. Mike Cathy, Dominique Dunning, Jared McCain, who's now at Duke, Jalen Hill, rest in peace, Jalen Hill, who was at UCLA, Ike Adabongo, who was at UCLA, and this guy, Donovan Denton, who's at New University of Mexico right now. He's a flat bucket. And I can go on and on and on. But my point is, all of those guys will tell you what Coach Giles taught them on the court, but more importantly, how those things transferred over in life. And that's why 2 or 3 of them are working with him right now and coaching with him at Corona Centennial in Corona, California, because they understand and they still want to be a sponge to some of that knowledge until they get their own programs or whatever. Shannon Sharp is one of the best trainers, if not the best trainer in Southern California. I just sent him another player yesterday that's going to start working out with him next month. So it's important to realize that when you're in this quote unquote business or industry of coaching and you're affecting young lives, that role model stuff is real. What they see from you matters. How you act matters. How you teach life lessons matter. How you receive life lessons matter. There's a coach I know who's now the assistant AD at Young Harris University by the name of Coach Reggie Anderson. Very spiritual guy. He recruited AJ, and that's where AJ first played before he transferred. Him and AJ still has a relationship. Do you know my son drives? Couple weekends ago, AJ drove to Young Harris. He got some friends up there. Next year, I didn't even know. AJ's in North Carolina. He drove to North Georgia, up by the northern part of Georgia, and I didn't even know. And then I get a text message from Coach Reggie, like, "Hey, I'm having brunch with my son today." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" And then next you know, I get a picture with him and AJ. AJ drove out there to have brunch with him, hang out with his buddies. Never played for him. The guy recruited him when he was the assistant coach before he moved to the assistant AD. And he recruited him. And they have a relationship that I can only be thankful for. And I promise you, he's learning from Coach Reggie. Coach Reggie's my guy. Shout out to Coach Reggie. Hope you get that AD job, because the AD up there is leaving. If you need an assistant, I'll come up there and work with you, bro. I need something to do. This retired life sometimes gets boring. But in the end, I just want to let everybody know that this was part 2. This was an extension of episode 17. Why Big Tone continues to coach. Thank y'all for listening to this episode of the Chronic OGs podcast. I'm Big Tone. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Niall King. Shout out to Chase Williamson. Shout out to Chance Whitfield. Shout out to Caleb Johnson. Shout out to Tony Cooley. Shout out to AJ Rozier. Shout out to Cedric Bearfield. Shout out to Mike Cathy. Shout out to Jalon Wheelwright. Shout out to my boy Jay Daniels. Shout out to Raj Stewart. Shout out to Reggie Anderson. Shout out to BJ Letcher. Shout out to Greg Gibson. These are all coaches that I've worked with. or affiliated with past. Shout out to Coach Singleton over at Roosevelt High School in Eastvale, California. Shout out to Harry Griffith down in Florida. I know you down there doing your thing. Sasha Stafford, my boy Blue in Virginia. I know you out there doing your thing with them young fellas. Shout out to Coach Keith Brooks. Shout out to Coach Doc Gamage. And again, shout out to my girl, my favorite coach in the world, Dawn Staley. This Big Tone, I'm out. Love you all.